Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Icy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweak and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing, while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Icy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave give up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe. Waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis. With lengthy game analysis, with sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I give up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo!
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is...
Jason Stoneking, good to see you, buddy. Oh, man. I think Jason might be here for the famous Field Sax's graduation. I don't know. I just want to say, we might get to it tomorrow. I'm not convinced. We got a lot of people. And Field Sax, he's graduated so much that he's so high up, you know. He actually is not on this list. He asked me to do it last week. He told me, hey, you should do it this coming week. So I'm going to go for like an hour and 45 minutes today, and I'm going to stop. So hopefully I'll get to it today. Or Jason, I got a good one. Chess Latte, good to see you, bud. Chess Latte, maybe you can give us an update, bud. I feel like you are now probably a grown man. And are you in Japan now, bud? Are you back in the States? What's your situation? All right, let's do Field Sax now, Jason Stone King. Let's do him now. We're going to just start. Oh, there's a lot to do. Let's do him now, though. So we're going to go here, search users. We're going to go Field Sax. There he is. Ba-boom. There he is, 1,200 to 1,300. Now, Jason Stone King is in the Twitch chat, and he has helped Field Sax, who has been working really hard. As an older dude, it's very impressive. You can see here, the man has been busy. The man has been busy. He's also doing the live classes. So it's a beautiful thing, going up and up. There you can see it. Very impressive. And he, I think, has grad show game. That's what he told me. He said we can do a grad show game. All right, so here we go. And wait a second, Field Sax. Wait a second. What's going on here, Field Sax? I'll tell you what, this is what we're going to do, Poet. We're going to let him finish this, and I'll do it next week, because I'm not going to cover it's against all principles of the dojo to cover a game that wasn't annotated. Maybe there was a snafu somewhere along the way, Anyways, we can get back to that in a little bit. Also, I realized that what I need to do is I need to go like analysis board. Wait, no. This is a very hard thing. I have to hit full database, and then we have a Sensei game review that has to be done too. Now, in this game, I was specifically asked not to call his opponent a chump. So let me just back up. What you could do is you could pay a small fee, and we'll take a look at your game for a Sensei game review. This is Lorenzo here. And he's playing a friend, so he doesn't want me to call him a chump. I won't call him a chump. I might think about it, but I'm not going to do it. Let's just see if we can gather something about Lorenzo. He's in the Swiss dojo. Beautiful. We got only 3 members. We need some more Swiss dojo people out there. And you can see he's working really hard. Yeah, looking good. Also, he's going up. He's definitely going up there. And maybe as a thing, we could say, Lorenzo, would be cool if you did some OTB. I'm sure there's some cool stuff going on in the Swiss leagues. Now, wait a second, Jesse. I thought we had here. All right. I clicked on him instead of his game. So there we go. So the first thing we want to say about this game, in a local shogi club. So recorded clock times to get a time graph, and basically Black's biggest issue is that they didn't want to use their time. Okay. So far, so good. Fine. Check to the miserable king. Weird. And now we have a little bit of a question of what to do. And you played knight 1c3. Now, what is the regular move here? d6. Makes sense to stop knight d6 from happening. Your move, I don't think is wrong, knight 1c3. But another thing that maybe is a little clever is to play bishop d2 with the thought that, say, like, oh, if he trades, then I really get that dark square. And honestly, his best move might even be bishop c5 after bishop d2. But okay, fine. d6, and I think this is a good move. And then bishop a5 is definitely a mistake. Now, the interesting thing that he says is bishop takes, pawn takes. This position, though, might be more feasible for Black than it first looks, because I think both players are saying to themselves, oh, he's going to lose his coconut on d6, but maybe he could play king e7. I don't know, because notice, if Black can get a6 in, then this knight doesn't have anywhere to go. Now, maybe I'm going to do a Jadoob on that, by the way. If king e7, maybe this would be a strong move. Intending bishop a3. That looks pretty frightening, honestly. Imagine knight f6 to protect the thing like this. Oh, bam! Oh, no! Bam! Oh, gosh, you killed me, boss. So wait a second. My first instinct about bishop takes is conceivably wrong here. Let me give it one more college try. Knight f6. Knight takes. King e7. And now if you take, you develop my stuff. And maybe I'm going to live through this. Right? Because I have a little bit of an attack going. You know, I might live through this one. But the problem, of course, with bishop a5 is we're hanging a pawn outright for nothing. Right? So bishop a5, I think, deserves some kind of question mark. And bishop takes c3, it seems like we're forced to play that instead. So check to the miserable king. If you wanted to be a boring person, you could have played queen d6 as well. King e7 is a must. We can't just have that knight hanging around. Yeah, and then we have some stockfish analysis after king e7. And by the way, definitely the human move at this point is probably to take the bishop. Right? b4 is a very fancy move. That's a stockfish kind of thing. And he talks about this position. I mean, that's a nice position. It's hard to argue with that one, right? Okay, so king f8, bishop e3. That makes sense. Now, I just want to say that bishop c4 looks like a really big opportunity as well. All right, bishop e3, knight f6, and now you play bishop c5. Now, I just want to say bishop c5 is interesting, but like it's going to be loose there. Whereas if you just play bishop c4, we're threatening some big things. We're threatening some big things. All right, bishop c5, and he plays the intuitive move, which is king g8. And now you cash in. And then we're going to go to an endgame, right? The nice thing about this particular endgame compared to the other ones is, well, first of all, he doesn't have to go to the endgame, but whether he goes to the endgame or not, now his king is just decidedly bad, right? So, I like bishop c4. b4 makes a lot of sense too. He snips. And you like him also to play bishop takes c3. For what it's worth, my sense is that this is winning for white no matter what because of the bad position of the king. But you're right, he should at least try to make it funky with bishop takes c3. So, good move. And now bishop b5 can't be wrong. Take it. One of the principles I think you could tell yourself here is you really want to trade off any piece that is not that rook on h8. So this is a natural looking move. I wonder if you have anything better. So let me say about f3. It's a really good looking move because it protects this pawn and everything. But unless you're immediately planning to move the knight, I don't think you should do it. Another move could be, let's say king e2, we need to get our guy out. Let's say h6, makes sense to me. And now maybe bishop e7. Just to say, you know what, I might take this guy and I might land inside of here. So f3 gives him a little time. Good. Now we need a good move. You play bishop e7. Okay. Good move. So notice from this perspective, f3 was a loss of time. Now you take, and let me just say, what I don't like about taking is there's no rush. So given that you've done this, your knight can move, and knight a4 looks like a good move. You can do it next move too, but you are substantially fixing the position of the king now. Good. Good. Okay, good. Now, I don't know why it's so important to me, but it's more intuitive to me to put it on this square. Maybe it's not that big of a difference, but I don't want the pawn. I want a little bit more freedom on d3, and if he ever takes me, I want to recapture this way. I just don't want to be on a dark square because his bishop's over there. Now he plays bishop b6, which I think just helps you play knight a4. Black should probably consider a5. The point of this move would be both to open up some squares for the bishop, get rid of the poor pawn on a6. Nota bene, this thing might be on its way. And open some files, like maybe I'll get the rook coming to a8. If Black can trade some stuff off, some pawns in particular, he has a better chance of holding this endgame. So here we go. And now you played c3. Which is a very intuitive move. This is a little fancy, but a move we should be thinking about is maybe king d3. The point being to just become very active on c4, where we would support this kind of business, just control some nice squares, think about some invasion. So he does this to you, and now he loses a tempo with king e7. And you write that he's preparing to contend, to fight for the d file. But he needs to think about trading some stuff off. So first, let's talk about the good news for you. I don't think he can play c5 because of rook d1, and then he can't defend this thing. However, you're not really threatening anything too major at the moment. So he should at least consider the move a5. And I like that you put that there. Great. And notice here you found the move king d3. And what we should say to that is, if we did it a move earlier, we're actually up a tempo on this whole situation. Okay. By the way, this king d3 plan is proving that maybe you were right of putting the rook here instead of me putting it on d3. I guess on d3 I have some other options too with the rook, but still. Okay, king e7. So one of the things that I was just talking about in our Steinitz group, so we have these live classes where we review a player's training and games. We do it different player every week, pretty small groups. And in the Steinitz group, they're kind of like in your rating range. And one of the things that we observed, I observe again and again, seen it also on the grad show, of course, is that players will often give away time for free. And in this case, we could say, well, he has the intention of playing rook d8, but do we really want to play rook d8? It seems like Black is really going to be suffering if we trade those rooks off. So ultimately then, since rook d8 isn't a good idea, it's a loss of time. So I want to stress, at this level, they're not going to hang pieces, but they will hang tempi. All right? c4. Ooh, I don't know if I like it. I still like your king d3. And then if he checks you, we'll go here. And if he goes somewhere else, we'll come up here. Let's activate that king. The queen side is our strong side of the board. What I don't like about c4, and actually I want to stress I really don't like it, is you're giving him this square back. And I'm not sure exactly what you're doing. Okay, so here he comes, bishop d4. He could have considered a5 first too. And now a5. Good. Good. By the way, this is the kind of position where white might blow it. White could lose this position because the bishop is now strong. Your rook on d2 went from like a very strong rook to a dominated rook. The knight on a4 is suddenly looking soft, right? Good move. And I thought I was about to yell good move because I wanted you to play knight c4. And the main reason this is such a beautiful knight is because you were denying counterplay. You're denying Black from being able to do this. Spra, thank you for following. Right? So good, another empty move. Well said. uh, over here with rook d3, rook b7. He should consider a5. That should at least be on the man's agenda. So loss of time. Now check. Fine. We're still going to c4. At least that's where I want to go. You go to f5. Probably okay. And now it's just a mop-up operation. Now we got him. I would say you could take that bishop if you wanted to. No, you're doing it fine, though. Now we take it. Well played. Well played. Thank you very much. Well played. Good. Right. Let's read what you say. Our initial play was a little inaccurate due to an unjustified preference for keeping the two bishops over damaging the opponent's pawn structure and leaving them with weaknesses. I would say the main prejudice, actually, that should be adjusted is both players didn't feel the need of time being the most significant thing on the board, even from the very beginning. So, for example, when he plays bishop a5, it's already a case of, wait, it's not just the pawn, it's about time. You have to at least consider to take this thing, right? Okay, well done. I'll mark this thing as annotated. And we'll come back now to the ChessDojo. Oh, I blew it. I can fix it, though. We're going to come back to the dojo training program. Can you figure this out? Okay, here we go. So we got to go newsfeed, and we go view all with the graduations. All right. Lorenzo is in the YouTube chat. Thank you for being here. Great. Here we got Brain Bite. He just started out, got a nice graduation. Let's see how this goes here. We'll give him a follow. Hasn't done much work. Well, there you go. There you go. He's done a little bit of checkmate puzzles. Welcome to the dojo. Any clubs? No? Any games? Nothing. Sometimes I just want to make sure this is correct. I've been told that we've got this thing fixed with the games. We'll see. We'll see. So Brainbite, welcome to the dojo. And now, let's see what we got here. Yeah. We'll move on to Den. Den said, started focusing on 15 plus 10 and analyzing my games. Consistency was key. Bit of rating anxiety has kept me from playing more on the main account. Okay, congratulations. Let's see what's going on here in Den's life. First, we're going to give him a little follow. Started in June 25. Wow. So he began here in October, but it seems like he started playing chess in June of 25. My guess is he hasn't really been logging his business. He should. But he's made good progress here at the dojo. Do we got any clubs? ADHD, okay. No games. So, Den, we know you know what you need to do. Very simple. Log your work and give us some games. Next up, we have Gab, who I remember. Gab is graduating all over the place. And joined this year, already graduated twice. I think what you can see here is that Gab began as a diligent marker of duties here and then stopped. But hopefully they're still working on the program. They're going to clubs. He's in New York City. All right. Do we got a game? I might have already looked at this. Let's see here. I have a feeling I looked at this. Let's just see. Yeah, so I looked at this game. Gab, you need to keep looking at, keep logging your work. Go back to logging your work and put in some games. Next up, we got ISO. ISO says, only lost one game in the progress to 850 ChessCom. Thanks to the live class, something just clicked. Beautiful. So let's look at Isotrexin. And Isotrexin is in the live classes. I think, let me just see actually if I click on this. Yeah, so he's in the lecture. So there's two ways you can do the live classes. There's the lectures and then the game and profile review. The game profile review, I was talking about that earlier, was what Field Sax is in. And the lecture tier is included with the game and profile review. You get that as well. But here you can see the lectures that we have ongoing now. I'm doing this logical chess move by move. That's going to be tomorrow at noon. So a fun thing. And so it's cool to see ISO making progress here. ISO doing a lot of work. It's getting it done. Okay, great. And now let's just look. Yeah, beautiful progress. Beautiful progress. All right, do we have some games, ISO? Oh, ISO's got loads of games. This was just submitted recently. All right, so here he's talking about the progress he's made. And the one thing we want to say is it's very encouraging to see that he's using his time. Now, 30-minute game, it's clear he probably should have had a little bit of extra time left. But what I want to stress is that from a growth perspective, when I'm teaching people who are under 1,000 dojos, that's 1250chess.com, this is one of the biggest areas where growth can happen, is just you taking your time. And there'll be a lot of free points won because your opponents, one of the reasons they're rated below 1,000 is they haven't learned to use their time. Right? It's that simple. All right. So let's go ahead and put this in the game review thing. I always have to make a little jadoobie here when I do this. So boom. Jadoobie. Okay. So yeah, let's get into it. Market is reviewed. And D4. Fine. Fine. Frisky. I kind of like it, honestly. I've never seen that move. So you go. It's an interesting move. I don't. Well, maybe it's a very nice move. I'm trying to think about it. Queen G4 might be a good move. All right, so this is the critical question. You take. It's a critical question because it's like, can he just win a tempo here? Rook G6. Queen H4. Now, this is forced because if you go to H3, E5, as you noted. Now, here, amazingly, the best course of action for both players might be to make a draw here. That might be the best course. And if we want to think about the move Queen G4 from a so-called theoretical perspective, that might be the problem with Queen G4, is precisely this variation. If it works, it's an amazing novelty, honestly. Okay, but he does not do that and plays Queen E7 instead. Now, I think you should probably take on D6 and then play Bishop D3. But you do it here. This encourages him to play Rook G4, but he doesn't see it. Why? One of the reasons is he's going too fast. Good. Now, it is also, I should have said this 1,000 years ago, but when you played Bishop D3, boss, you're hanging your pawn. You're hanging your pawn, buddy. You can't be hanging your pawn. Furthermore, yeah, no, don't give him the furthermore. He was hanging the pawn. All right. You're still hanging the pawn. Still hanging the pawn. Still hanging the pawn. Still hanging the pawn. This guy's hanging. All right, this is time for my ramp. The biggest issue for players at this level is that they are hanging things. Okay, there's 3 issues total. This is on our path to 1250 ChessCom 1000 Dojo. 3 issues. 1, most important, you're hanging things. And your opponents are too. That's what's deciding the game. It's not strategy. It's not opening theory. Number 2, people moving too fast. As we saw, black in this game was moving way too fast. Moving slower, the main thing it's going to do for you, it's going to help you not drop your stuff. And finally, 3, development. This is the least important because the games are generally decided because someone hangs a piece, but it's still an important thing that can be learned fairly easily. Now, DE4 was played. A rough question I have is Rook G4, Queen H6, DE. Are you hanging a coconut? To me, it looks like you've hung a coconut. All right, so Knight E4. Loss of time again. And now check. This looks like a blunder. Nope, exclam. I take it all. Wait. Yeah, exclam. Okay, good. That was ingenious. Now, I don't know if you saw it, but that was ingenious because at the end, the knight was hanging. F8, now you're winning. Fine. I don't know. Good move. And now you played knight d7. You're trading it down. Fine. Trade it all down. Boom. 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 Good chess. Good. I thought you played this pretty well. That's a little bit too much for me, though. The rook e7 is, let's call it the classier way of going. Now, did you actually blow this? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, man. And now he blunders, exclam. Now, let's just stress, why did he blunder? Wasn't taking his time. All right, I thought that was a very good learning opportunity for both players. Well done. It'll get a little harder as you progress. I like the fact that you're using your time. I'm happy as well that the live classes, the lecture tier is helping you out. Okay, beautiful. Let's go to the next one. And that is Scott. Great Scott. And Scott has been doing a lot of tactics. He's at 715, going up amazingly. Clubs. Louisiana Dojo. And, oh my gosh, look at all this. Now, my games, he's got loads in here. This is looking good. And this is the Chessless Guy. And pretty quick game. He's basically used his time. Let's see how this went down. Fine. A little weird. I'm not going to criticize it too much. I think definitely that's a mistake. You got to develop your pieces. That's a mistake. Got to develop your pieces. So this is what I'm talking about when I say they aren't developing their pieces. Fine. Poor. Not developing your pieces. So you're concerned about your pawns. Forget about your pawns. Develop your pieces. A3, no good. Develop your pieces. Not good. What's the main reason? Because you're not developing your pieces. Okay. Okay. Good move by black. Good move. I guess he's got it. Boom. Boom. Now, the interesting thing here is actually, I call bishop f6 a good move, but actually it was not a good move. Bishop f6 is a surprising blunder that loses by force. So this is the move in our annotations that we actually should come back to and say, wait a second. If black had been taking their time, they might have found knight c5, fixing their bad piece, messing with your bishop. This Oh, this pattern you see in a lot of tactics puzzles, because now g6 is the only way out. I snip, and then that's done. Now we could call queen e4 a mistake, but if he doesn't take the bishop, he's down a piece. Beautiful. Now is queen h4 a mistake? I don't know. I think he's already in deep trouble. So, chessless guy, that was a well-played game. Right? Now, the main thing I want you to take away, though, is people aren't developing. I want you to be the guy who not only uses their time, but also develops. 3 things to make 1250 ChessCom 1000 Dojo. Next up, we got Larry. All right, here's Larry, 810. Let's give him a follow. Looks like he joined fairly recently. Doesn't say anything about himself. He's in the Adult Improver Club. Doesn't have any games yet. Larry, we hope to see some work and some games. Next up, we got Luchek. And Luchek, this man's a beast. He's graduating all the time. Let's read what he says. It took me a bit longer than I expected. I reached 1048 over a month ago, but then hit a plateau and stayed somewhere between 1010 and 1035. Fortunately, in recent days, I managed to play with more focus and finally reached the 1050 threshold. The material in this cohort was excellent. I really enjoyed chess tactics for kids as it improved my sense of tactics and combinations, opening my eyes to possibilities I hadn't considered before. I'd like to thank Luke Virenga, I'm going to say it, I think that's how you pronounce it, for his impactful coaching sessions, and Blue Guitar Gambit for his consistent support. Beautiful. So we have a bunch of coaches in addition to the live classes, and Luke is a teenager who's really done a lot in the dojo to improve himself. He's been featured in the graduation show many times, and now he's also doing some teaching, which I think as well. So you can look him up on the dojo site if you want some lessons from him. So here's Luchek, born 1990. All right, beautiful. Now you can see Poland, by the way, is on the way up. I got to go to Poland. I got to get myself to Poland. He's got a I'm assuming that's his Polish rating down there. We got a Polish club, the Polish Knights Guild. So we got 11 people there. We want more, of course, in Poland. And now we got games. And he's got a game over here. For the graduation show. Thank you. All right. So this looks like a game that was played. OTB. And my guess is that he just took his own, when he was on the score with the score sheet, he just looked at his own opponent and just at his own time and not his opponent, which is fine. All right, so here we go. Fine. Now, knight a4. And he writes, it is a mistake. Now, listen, you should never call bishop c5 a mistake because of knight a4. The knight on a4 will owe you a tempo to come back. It is not really developed on a4. If he were to play knight a4, he should at least wait until you play d6. So now I definitely think you got a good annotation and bishop e7 is correct. Now you analyze d4, which maybe, but honestly, like, he shouldn't be open the position when he's down in time. Yeah. So bishop d6, that's a weird move. You're blocking yourself. I think you understand it. c4, poor move. Why? Because it's not developing. b6, a little weird. I would have preferred either bishop e4 check or castles. Now d4 is very frisky because he's not developing. And e takes d4 should be our first question. It looks to me like you're winning a pawn with e takes d4 because e4 is falling. All right, you took this thing. And now you blundered with knight takes d4. Bishop b4 check has to be the first question, though. Right? We got to ask about bishop b4. I think he's going to have to play king d1, and then he's just going to be lost. This is a nice variation, king d1, d5. It's hectic, but we got to believe in black because we're up a pawn, and this guy is a mess. All right, so my friends, this is how our chess dies, is because we blunder stuff. Now you say white's got a clear advantage. It's probably lost for you. All right, so cat f4. Why is this controversial? Because he's not developing, okay? So, my friends, by the way, rook b8, I actually like it a lot better, too, what you're saying, instead of c6. That's a good annotation. But let's just note, this guy, white, he's not thinking about development. Good move. Good move. Poor move. Boom. Uh-oh. Queen e2 will say, thank you very much. And now you say queen e7, and you call this an unclear position. Let me think about it for a second. So, is it an unclear position? No, you're winning this. You're winning this. If you imagine the queen being equal to the three minor pieces, then you have a rook, bishop, and pawn, and two pawns. Rook, bishop, and 2 pawns for the 2 rooks. Right? So you got to be winning this one. Blundericious. One nice thing about doing the timestamps for your opponent would be, hey, it'd be interesting to see, like, was this person just not thinking at all? Good. Fine. Fine. That wasn't it. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Let's take the... Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's fancy. King f8. Take it. There we go. Now, yeah, you're winning. It's true. There we go. Oh, no. He says, the game went on from here, but I didn't have time to record it. White coordinated their 3 pieces beautifully and eventually delivered mate. Oh, no. This position actually is still an interesting one to think about. He's saying it's unclear. Now, of course, it's a huge bummer that we blundered our rook. But I still think black is better in this position. What are we going to do? We're going to start pushing our stuff, you know? Very hard. Very hard for white. Oh, Luchek. That one hurt me. I bet Luke was sad. I bet he was a sad, sad man. But okay, good annotations. And we're going to do Aaron next. And at the top of the hour, I have to remind myself to go check to see if the house is burning down because I'm cooking some beans downstairs. All right, Aaron, welcome to the dojo. He's been here since 24, but you can see he's got spats of activity. And we have a lot of power users at the dojo, and that's generally who's featured on the graduation show because those are the people who are working, those are the people who are moving up. But of course we have people who've kind of, they have to stop for life reasons or they go away from the dojo, In any case, that's just life. And here Aaron came back and made his graduation after a while. So that's a good thing. Aaron doesn't say anything about himself. Aaron does have some games though. They're ancient though. Ancient games. So these are all games from when he just joined. And in general, I only want to look at games that are kind of recent. Okay, so here we go. Next up, we have Boring Pouring. What does Boring Pouring say? Nothing. Now, Boring Pouring does have an amazing rating graph. The envy of anybody out there. So that part of it looks good. Since joining the dojo, he's gone up, but he's not logging anything. Doesn't tell us much. and doesn't have any games. So boring. We need something, buddy. We need something. All right. Let's continue. Next up, Fernright. It was very helpful for me to do everyone's first chess workbook from the 0 to 7 cohort as a custom task. Spotted some basics I had missed before. So notice what's going on is he actually is doing something from the lower cohorts, which is fine. Yeah, so that's interesting. Everyone's first workbook is generally, it's for the lower cohorts because it's about basic tactics, but still, if it helped Fern right out, how can it be wrong? He's doing a little bit of middle game work. We don't know what it is. Looks like he's close enough to graduate, Cry. Don't give him any business. Don't give him any business. Fernright, tell us something about yourself. He's in Europe. He's in Ostdeutschland somewhere. Has he got some games? He's got one game at least. Here we go. This is a game against Ketzbeg. So 30 plus 30. And Fahrenheit, one of the things, if you're watching this beautiful show, is the most important thing you can get out of this is you're moving way too fast, buddy. You are moving criminally fast. Your opponent's also moving fast, but whew, buddy, you took way more time annotating this thing than you did playing it, right? Okay, so this is a very honest note, and I think we want to say that that's how it starts for everybody, right? The first annotation, you don't know what kind of questions to ask. It's really great to ask a friend to help you go over it. You know, people in the dojo will do that. Of course, there's the live classes you could also join for that kind of work. All right. Cry, are you going to be mentioning this time again and again? No, I'm just going to leave it open, though. All right, so the reason this is a little bit inaccurate is because you're giving the knight a square. Fine. You're doing great. A little weird, but we're not going to say nothing because you're developing. Now, I think this, okay, bishop b4. Good. You're developing. Fine. Okay. b5. Now this move scares me a little bit because you're inviting the knight in. Okay. Okay. Starfish says inaccuracy, but I do not understand. I think probably what it wanted is two conceivable moves are annoying for black here. This looks kind of annoying, creating this pin. And this move is a little bit annoying, giving questions to the king. And if g6, then probably here, and just giving more questions to the king. But in principle, I don't mind this move a4. He needs to put this knight in here. He needs to plop that bad boy down. Bishop b4. Now black's doing pretty good. c3. And now rook c7. Right, and then you miss this bishop c5. Rook c7 is a very natural move. And here you do find it. Well done. Now, he does have some good compensation, I think, for the exchange. Oder in Deutschland sagen wir die Qualle. Die Qualle, for the Qualität. So, rook ac1. Maybe rook f, no. See, so let's just say it's a little bit of a difficult position for you to play because of the control that the knights have in the weak c3 pawn. Okay, here we go. All right. And now queen c3. And we're saying double question mark. Now, I don't know about double question mark. Double question mark when we're really losing it completely. This might be a very instructive position, though, to think about, because the white rooks in this position aren't doing much. The second we take, though, then they can do things. So it is very instructive. Boom, boom. Yeah, now he's got surprising grief. Now the rook is just so powerful. All right, g6 was played. I think that's a little difficult. Knight d6 might be more accurate. Good, I like this. I would have wanted you to at least think about rook d7. Here I think we should think about f4. I'm not sure what black is doing. Yeah, so here we'll say king d4. Honestly, your king, this whole thing that black is doing on the king side, I have no idea. What's the... Your problem, by the way, is you're moving too fast, bud. Check. Yeah, we'll take all that stuff. Dang, checkmate, bruv. That's rough. That is rough. Okay, so well done. And again, I want to stress the main thing that you should take away from this is that if you can slow down, the quality of your moves will improve drastically, right? You're basically playing this as if it were a blitz game. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweak and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from
All right, my friends, let's continue the amazing grad show. That was Ketzbag against Fanright, and now we have MFN. I don't know what that stands for. It sounds crude. He says, finally graduating. This is my first graduation and has been a bit delayed, but wanted to finish it out with an over-the-board tournament for the game review. Beautiful. Ended up playing in the state championship tournament and surprisingly got first place in the under 1200. Beautiful. Was a really nice way to complete the year, as the same tournament was my first OTB last year. Okay, MFN, you're doing great. All right, so we're going to give MFM a follow. Maybe if I see clubs, he'll tell us what state he's in. Indiana. So under 1200, he's the under 1200 state championship holder. We got 29 people in Indiana. That's pretty good. That's more than Poland. That's more than all of Poland, dude. Games. All right, here we got his last three, our OTBs. This is a beautiful thing. All right. Wait. We're going to do this date created, and I think we're going to look at this one. So this is Mateo versus Tim Wiegand. And look at that. Look at that beautiful time graph. And very impressive, right? Very impressive. If you are in a lower cohort and wondering how these people are better than you, that's one of the reasons right there, is they are using their time judiciously. All right, here we go. Fine. Beautiful. Bishop G5. Okay. Good. Now, Queen D6. Gotta be okay. H3, weird. And now we're going to trade a bunch of stuff off. Okay, what I don't understand about DE4 is, can't you win a pawn by playing bishop takes and then taking this guy? That's what I don't understand there. So now he gets to do this. And unless you're winning something with Queen E5, then this doesn't look right. So, and he says, unfortunately, I overestimated the strength of this move. And he didn't see bishop takes c6 until after I moved the queen. It's a good visualization problem, too, because notice what happens here with this h3, by the way, giving up tempo, is that he rabbit-holed that whole thing so hardcore and didn't look at the more simple bishop takes c3. All right, so now we did this, and now we're in a little trouble. Boom, boom, and now I guess we're lost, but we got some chances still. Okay, interesting. I like that. This move, I'm not sure I like c3 because the bishop really kind of wants to go to d6 anyway. That looks promising. Okay. A little weird. I don't know why you wouldn't just play g3. But all right, rook a1. All right, it's getting fancy now. White's pushing the limit. Now, why would g6 be wrong, though? I mean, g6 makes a lot of sense. All right, spicy. Queen f6. Queen d5. And yeah, White's able to, let's call it, consolidate this position. So you try this. Good move by White. I mean, at least in principle, it would be great to trade off that bishop. All right, I think that's fine. queen d4. You could start with rook fe1 too. Fine. Simple. Queen e4. So now he's kind of losing the thread a little bit. The simple move to play here would be rook fe1. Okay, he's still doing fine. By the way, for a game like, let's I guess under 1200, these people are playing some good moves. Rook e1. Okay. So, it's just a little weird. It's a little weird. Okay, so now we're going to eventually lose the pawn on e4 here. So we need to do something else. We should write what we should do. Yep. Yeah, we're losing our coconuts. And the bummer is he was always technically winning, but he was there were, like, let's say, practical difficulties. Now this shouldn't be too hard. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Check to the miserable king. Uh-oh, he might have hurt himself. Oh, that looks dangerous. Oh, man, bummer. Missed that. Okay. Now, in general, you don't want to trade the rooks. So if rook g4 occasions that trade, we would think that this should be winning for white. Now, white still needs to show some technique here. This is winning, but he needs to show the technique. And now he plays b4, and then you're going to get the pawn. So he's got a couple options. The easy option, I think, is to play c4. And I don't think we're going to make it. I don't think we can live through that. But it's going to take some technique. This is not it. Good move. Fine. I mean, it's time to... Did we make a draw here? Yeah. Good. Well done, Matteo. I thought that was a well-played game. And for the level you're at, I feel like you're doing really good. Yeah, that was great, man. The queen e5 thing, arguably an impulsive move, but you were taking your time, right? I'm with you. Arsenal, queen g3 and fe. The problem there is I was going to mention it, but I was like, we're still deep in trouble. So it wasn't like it helped us too much. All right, so here we go. Next up, we got Ace Bolf, and he has a game for us to look at, so I'm going to grab it immediately. And let's go check out Ace Bolf. Give him a follow. He's been here with us for a little while. You can see that in the last several weeks, he's really been putting in the time, mostly playing games, doing some tactics. Doesn't say anything. Guys got clubs. Oh, Quebec. Nice. Games. And actually, we're not doing games. We're just going to go ba-bam, because he wanted this game for us to look at. All right. We'll mark it. Now, Ace Bolf, we'll keep this time graph open because we want to know what happened. We want to know why you stopped thinking at move 2034. All right, so here we go. Okay, fine. All right, so you want a tempo. Good. I guess you have to give it back. Black should be considering rook e8. I don't understand that move. It is hard to find a plan, but your natural default move should be something like rook e1. This doesn't look right because you're allowing knight f4. You could stop it with g3. Maybe he could leave it there with queen f6. Bishop f5 looks good. There he goes. Rook e8 looks good. Now, very important that you see that you got to fix the knight on d2. Let's see what you do. a6? I don't know. It looks kind of soft. e3, e7. Here you could take and play rook at e1. That looks frisky. So I think the big question is, how do we feel about the position if black had taken? He does this. Now, one of the things we're doing here is we're waiting until move 35, because that's when you stop thinking here. So knight df3. Good. Knight e5. 926 Andy, thank you for subscribing. f3, good move. Now queen b2. You've got a nice position now. King f8, b5, very nice. King f2. In principle, I like king f2, but unfortunately, queen h4 check is kind of a bummer, right? I think the natural question should be, how do we feel about the position that goes BC, BC, and then some kind of invasio? E6. Uh-oh, that wasn't good. And it's the bummer about chess is you miss something like that, that really is the end. And I think we're getting a sense of why you stopped thinking, because you became frustrated here. Well, we at least got that going on. All right. So he plays queen e3. An interesting position, honestly. Because if he goes king d8, well, I think that's an important question. Is he just winning the game here? It's an interesting position. Okay, so he tries to say this is winning for him. I guess technically it is. Good. King f8, I think that's correct. Well, he could consider taking on b5 first. Oh, now he's lost his mind. So now look, this is very important. You have yourself an interesting position. Your opponent, he's losing his mind. He doesn't know what to do. This is where you need to be thinking, okay? But we can see you kind of lost the thinking thread here. Yeah, he's losing his mind. He's not coordinating his pieces at all. If he does not coordinate, you will win. You will find a way through. I like what you did with your pawns. Okay. All right. Big decision here. Normally, we don't want to push h6 unless we're sure we're going to, like, make it through. Queen h5. Okay. Yeah. Now it's unclear how we're going to get there. This is the problem. Now our queen's been a chump, and now they just hang a piece. All right, so we got a little lucky. I guess it's not technically over, but it is harder for black to play this position. G6. Oh, no. Oh, wait a second. You're saying f takes g... Yeah. Well, but you're saying f takes g6 and they're winning. No, you take his... Oh, that's evil. Well, the reason they didn't see it is they thought this was over, but then they have this. Oh, no. Now, what do you mean perpetual? You just go take this pawn. Once you win that pawn, I think that's it. Maybe it's complicated still with rook f6, but, you know. Mate. Oh, man, what a game. All right, Ace Wolf. One of the things that I want you to just recognize, this is probably the most important of all the things in this game, and we see this every week in the dojo, is people hit an end game and play becomes concrete. Calculation becomes really important. And also they're tired. And then you start seeing a time graph like this where you were thinking for the most part well, and then all of a sudden it's over. Right? Well, I think they had moments of both being devastated, Arsenal. I think they both gave the game back and forth a couple times. All right. So, well done, though. And now we have J.J. Pregler. And he says, returning to OTB after 15 years, made my USCF rating my official rating for the dojo. Going to move up slowly, however, to make sure I don't overshoot my actual playing level currently. Okay, let's go take a look. All right, USCF rating of 1500. Okay, so basically he's like, maybe I'm not there yet, you know? Wow, okay. So, cool. You can follow him on Twitch. And by the way, we are working hard on our new rating conversion. We're hoping to have it done at the end of the month. And I think a lot of this is going to there's going to be some jadoobs. Because the last time we did it was about 2 years ago. All right, so he's in the old man's group. He's in the Philly. Okay, here we go. You can see he's working pretty hard since January. So he is truly back. And I'm going to start making use of these rest day signs myself. I almost left this profile to go do it impulsively. No, we're not going to do that. All right, here he's got some games. These look like his OTB. Beautiful. And do we have time graphs? Now notice what we see here is somebody who's marking the time about every 5 moves or so, which is a fine way to do it, especially if you feel overwhelmed at first by doing it like every move or so. Let's note the obvious. These guys both have a lot of time, and neither of them is ready to fully use it. Right? All right, here we go. Poor, not, as he said, wasted tempo. Controversial because now the bishop on c8's really locked in. Fine. Fine. Okay. Okay. Good. So black lost another tempo with that knight e4 thing. Castle's beautiful. You're doing great. You have a beautiful position. Castle's good. Let's just ask him. Let's ask him where he wants to go. All right. And now you played c4, which is problematic from a couple standpoints. You mention e4, and then you say e4, e5. And I think that should be your default to how to approach the position. Honestly, any natural move will give you a better position. Rook ad1, also a good-looking move. Okay, so this allows them to snag your bishop, and the knight on c6 was also a bad piece. You're still better in this position, though. Good move by your opponent, finally fixing their bishop. Okay. Yeah, black's coming back. Okay. And now we blunder this, where bishop e5 is going to win the game for him. Now, I want to stress, this is happening because both players are moving too fast. Also, I very much encourage people to say what you should have done. I like rook ad1 as an example. It's true, though, that maybe f6 is like, oh no, right? So if that's the case, then we want to, if f6 is a problem, then maybe we should consider bishop g3, in which case we're still fully in control of this game. All right, you caught a break, and you call this equal. Okay. Good. Good. Frisky. Frisky because they're opening the position. And I don't know if they're ready to open the position. FE1. Okay. The first thing you deserve props for is you did not fall for this dirty trick. So that was a dirty trick on your opponent's part. I'm just looking. Just looking here. So, Queen C3, I think forces Bishop F8. I just can't imagine somebody surviving with F6. This thing's hanging. And then the problem here is I got this move, and then I'm touching this. So Queen C3 looks very strong. Ah, yeah, that's his trick. That's his trick. Now you played Rook AD1. I guess he's out of dodge too because he's going to play Bishop takes F3. All right, boom. He does that. All right, so boom. Now, I would say if I was black, I would want to spend some moments trying to see how black, if at all, could have saved his coconut, because he lost his pawn there. Good. Okay. Okay. Queen E4 also looks good, and then you guys agreed to a draw. Okay. This is a beautiful thing you write here. I thought I was playing slow, but then when I put the times in, I still move way too fast. One of the nice things about this dojo time rating, it really will tell you what we're looking at. I feel like that was pretty high quality. There was a couple tactical things that you missed. Yeah, a couple tactical things you missed. And one of the things that we want to note about your opponent, okay, is they lost a lot of time, tempo in the opening, and they didn't use their time on the clock. And so that's just a way of thinking about, like, well, how in the future do I beat these guys, right? Arsenal's in the chat. He says you guys played a pretty high quality game. I agree. Now we got Angry Man. He's probably not that angry. You know, probably not that bad. An Angry Man isn't logging too much of their work. We made it up to 1206. Don't know much about Angry Man. At least this game. Let me just see here. So that's from 25, but he has this other game. Now, I want to stress, please, people, put your games into the My Games. Like the classical games, put them in there. It's not just for me. It's for you to have a My Games folder. Also, later, we're going to have some diagnostic tools to look at the games in your My Games folder. All right. Do we have times? We do not. Okay, let's go take a look. So this is Angry Man. Okay, okay. This is a poor move order for white that black exploits with this accelerated dragon. And c takes d5 is a fine move, but we really should mention that knight takes d5 is kind of a move we want to be playing because the bishop wants to get out. Okay. I don't know about this move. Rook b8 makes sense to me. I don't understand bishop d7. Bishop h6. And now rook fc8. d4 is interesting. I'm assuming, though, that d4 knight e4 would happen. Now I'm scared. And then this is a complete loss of time. So you shouldn't say it's computer beschmooter at this point. You're in danger of getting mated. That's your problem. So notice that the big complaint about a lot of the moves you made here was you didn't appreciate the value of the initiative of white getting it on the king side and you not doing anything on the queen side. Moves like bishop d7, also this a5 move. Now this looks real bad. Okay, good move by your opponent. And now queen g5 doesn't look best. Rook e1 looks like a valuable move. Okay. Okay. Good. And right, with g5, the controversy is he's giving your knight a square that allows you to block the rook. And now here we hang. What happens here? We hang this guy. He gets the queen trade. And now we have to ask ourselves, what do we think about this endgame? Hard to evaluate. This would be great if we had some timestamps just to know what if people were thinking. Okay, good move. I'm not sure I understand rook e5. King a3 makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure I get this at all. Okay. That was clever, rook c4. All right. We gotta talk. We gotta talk. Bishop c6. Oh my god, this is hot. b5. Good note there on bishop takes f3. Yeah, we should hold this fairly comfortably. Bishop c6 should be at least the attempt. I guess you're always playing bishop c4. Okay, well done. Good hold at the end. So that was the angry man. I thought there was, time. And what I mean by time is tempo. And when you have opposite side castling, it becomes very important. So when you think about from here on out, you should say to yourself, oh my God, I gotta attack this guy. I gotta do something. So even here, like queen a5, do we have to play e6? Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, just as an example. All right, let's continue. Dr. Pop is here. Oh, Dr. Pop is flying up. So, Dr. Pop, I think, is a beautiful example of how much progress an older dude can make when they put their mind to it. I'll just pop this out. Pop it out for Dr. Pop. So, he's working really hard, and he's been doing these live classes. He started off with this Morphe group. He's part of the Late to Chess podcast and is now graduated from the Morphe group. The Morphe group is basically our under 1,000 game and profile review group. And as you can see, the man is way up here at 1308. Now, he should have graduated earlier, but he had some bros in there, and he's like, no, I don't want to go. So he finally went and graduated into the next group. And honestly, I was thinking about it today. I was like, Dr. Pop might well graduate again soon. He might go ahead and just keep moving on to the next group, which is then after the Steinitz group, we have the Lasker group. He could be in there almost already. So one of the things we can see here is it was around this time that he started the group sessions, And he was kind of flat till then. He's just exploded. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace he can keep with this. It's already very impressive. Even if it slows down a little bit, it's just very impressive. And you can see he's working hard. The man is working. Witty Alien, thank you for rating. I hope you had a great stream. Today, we're doing the graduate show. We do this every Wednesday. And right now, we're looking at the profile of Dr. Pop Pop. He's an older dude who's been working hard. And you can see his rating graph here, up 505 points. He's a member of these Game and Profile Review, also the lecture tier classes that we got. Slaying. All right, let's see what kind of games we got here. All right, boom. And when it says 4 games, those are generally the most recent games. Let's go take a look at this over here. So, market. And one of the things, actually, he's done really well is he's used his time. We are the aliens. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you. I love it when aliens raid. And so one of the cool things that's been going on, right, is like there are 3 things to make it to 1250chess.com, right? And he's well above that at this point. But I feel like these 3 things he really took to heart. Don't hang your stuff. Use your time, as we're seeing here, and develop your coconuts. Basically, with that focus, that's what he's managed to get as high as he is. I think now there's going to be another phase in his chess development, right? Where he is going to need to learn a little bit of strategical thinking, and now is completely the appropriate time for him to be doing that. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. In fact, let's put it into the game review little template here. Keep GM cry off my case. Good. Fine. 94. Poor move. I only hope Judge Cry keeps the crime at a misdemeanor, is what he says. So he knows that this is a mistake. All right. By the way, he has no knowledge of openings. None. Just that he needs to develop his coconuts. And right here, he's blowing it. Lane 94. All right. F5, I'm scared. Check to the miserable king. I'm more scared. Here, I think that's probably a good move. We're just barely holding it together now. Poor move. Not a developing move. Castle's long looks right. Okay. Okay. Oh, bishop g7. I thought you were going to play rook g8. Okay. Check to the miserable king. This is getting frisky. Wait. Wait, Dr. Pop Pop. You played knight c6 here, and I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something here, because now if you had played c6, Dr. Pop Pop, then you're hitting 2 coconuts at the same time. I think you missed something there. I think bishop b5, a very poor move. Wait a second. Wait a second. White's already blown it. I didn't even realize it, Dr. Pop Pop. I didn't even realize it. His knight is, he needs to start thinking about his knight pronto. Pronto. So that wasn't it. And now the knight's gone. Because how he can't move any of his coconuts to fix the knight. Now you say kicking the knight, minor chess crime. It's not a minor chess crime if you win the knight, Dr. Pop Pop. And here, bishop g7 or rook g8. The knight's gone. It's a goner. So even here, you're winning the knight. And he says, thank you very much. You say, thank you very much, and you're winning. Okay, I don't like this move, bishop d5, because you're encouraging him to start whacking you like this. And we don't want you to get whacked. Knight a5 coming in here might make some sense. I don't understand that move. I don't understand that move. Don't understand that move. He needs to whack you. No, he's just messing around. So notice the white's completely planless here. g5. By the way, queen f7 I like a lot because you're preventing c4. Now you do it. Dr. Pop-Pop, sometimes you make your life more complicated than it needs to be. Like, why can't we just take the pawn at some point? Bishop g4, bishop h5 there would have made more sense. Now you're just coming at him. You're not even interested in that pawn over there. Dang, Dr. Pop. Look at Dr. Dang! He went from like a kind of couple moves where he's just meandering to complete anger. Look at this thing. Dang. Take it easy, Dr. Pop-Pop. And his opponent ran out of time. Welcome to the dojo. That's right. This is actually the second game I've seen with Dr. Pop-Pop where, even though he is not, hasn't really studied any strategy, let's call it, that he's able to find ways into the opponent's position. And we're seeing it here too. This is great. We're getting in there. We're getting in there. Boom. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, man. Popping it off. That's right. That was great. So one of the things, actually, Dr. Pop-Up, for the next stage of your journey is we might be discovering that you not only have learned the three things well, right? Keeping your coconuts, using your time, development, but you've also maybe discovered in yourself a good instinct for the initiative, right? I was also thinking of your game with Bill, right? Garage Heroes, where you were able to drum up an initiative in a lost position, right? Very similar. Well, what's similar is you just on the king hunt, and that's a whole skill in itself. So I think we should feel good about that, and you could start thinking about, like, you're at the stage of your game where you're going to start thinking about, like, what openings should I play, that kind of things. And, you know, we're going to start thinking about turning you into a beast. You know, maybe you're going to play some attacking chess. All right. Well done again. Beautiful. Beautiful things. All right. Next up, we got Thing 3. Thing 3 says, appreciate all the work let me fix it. The senseis and dojo members put into build community. I have been very lazy and still played almost exclusively Blitz. Last time I graduated, I put that I would learn an opening soon. I just started making plans as white with e4. I play it almost exclusively, but just YOLO the opening until now. I think it would help to put some names to position and improve my understanding of tempo. A lot of times I'll find myself thinking, I had a good plan, but my opponent is too fast. My bishop is on a good square. My opponent has some long-term weaknesses, but they're going to kill my king short-term. So, right. All right. So, by the way, this kind of area here that both Dr. Pop-Pop and Thing are in, you know, you've gotten to the place where you're not hanging your coconuts anymore. You're starting to develop like a need, in order to be competitive, a need for strategic thinking. And it'll take some time. I think naming some stuff is definitely a good thing. Naming not just openings, but let's say opening structures, naming plans, that kind of stuff. Follower goal met, 33,000. Holy moly. I haven't looked at the follower goals in a very long time. I haven't looked at our metrics things in a very long time either. Okay, so I don't know if it means anything, but we're going to look at Thing 3 here. All right, here's Thing 3. Not a lot of work log. Notice, well, what he said. He was out playing Blitz. The man was out playing Blitz. Aphantasia Club, okay. And no game. So Thing 3 is clearly a victim of some bad habits. Who's going to progress faster? Dr. Pop-Pop or Thing 3 playing Blitz all the time and not logging his stuff? Dr. Pop-Pop, he hasn't even been playing chess for a year. And he's flying Thing 3. He's flying. One thing I would say this for anybody, but if you joined either the lecture tier and or the game and profile review, you'd find yourself in a group of people like Dr. Pop Pop, where they're going to be working, and we're going to be naming things. We're going to be talking a little bit about strategy. We're going to be talking about weaknesses of our opponents that are at this level. So just a word out there. You can see it. If you just hit that live classes stuff, that's where you can do that. Now I think I got one more in me, and then I'm going to do the rest of them tomorrow, as they say, tomorrow. And we have Does Hoodrat stuff, who is, I remember that name from a while back. He's in New York. Okay, great. And maybe left the dojo for a little bit. I don't know. He was in Dojo 1.0. Yeah, so he's been around. But as you can see, maybe he just came back, logged a couple things, graduated up to ye old 1300. And he is not one of the heat map heroes, my friends. He hasn't been doing the heat map, I'll tell you that. All right, let's go take a look at some games. Nothing. Oh, hood rat stuff. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. And tomorrow, let's see what we're doing here. We're going to come back, and I'm going to write it down. We're starting with Lacrios. Put it over here, Lacrios. And we'll finish it off in part 2. Right now, I'm going to raid somebody. By the way, we have an amazing prediction market going for who's going to win the candidates. We're going to start our coverage. Holy moly, it's starting fast. I think it's like the 29th or something. 29th, my friends. Oh, is it Sunday already? Holy moly, this thing is creeping up on me. So check that out. Prepare your soul for the dojo coverage for the candidates that will take over many a chess players live. It's going to be a good time. Tapioca King, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Let's raid somebody. Who should we raid? Let's raid Houseline. I have a feeling he's not there. I'm just going to go ahead and warn people. I think he's not there because there's only 13 people, and normally that guy's got a lot more in there. So we'll see what's going on with him. I will be back tomorrow at, what have we got? 1 o'clock Eastern. All right, bye, everybody.